So I'm on my way to buy a new air compressor. I haven't bought an air compressor in, that would be 13 years. It's still going. It struggles a little bit, which is the main reason I'm probably going to get a new one today. A bit of a background, if you've probably seen any of my social media, you know that I've got a Jeep Wrangler, 2006 model TJ Wrangler, and it doesn't have a lot of space. One of the things I decided to do very early on when I got the Jeep was to get some onboard air, and there's a few ways to tackle that, as most of you know. You can get an air compressor that's attached to your fan belts. I think they call it endless air. Essentially just a compressor, like your air conditioning compressor, attached, bolted into your engine bay, and you runs off the power of the engine, and pretty good option, to be honest. Thought about it quite a bit. Again, a bit of a space issue under the bonnet of the TJ, so it came with challenges to try and go down that path. The other challenge is that it's essentially always connected to your fan belts, and it could probably put extra load on your engine, and then there's belts to worry about. And my brother actually had an issue with onboard air, which he fitted to his 79 series Ute, in that the placement of it required a fairly high tension put on the belts to make sure there was enough purchase on the air compressor pulley, and as a result of the extra tension, it flogged out the bearings on his water pump, and he ended up stranded on the highway in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, so I didn't really like the idea of going down the path of the onboard air with the extra air compressor. So I had an ARB air compressor installed. Had grand plans early on to fit a compressor that gave me the ability to have air lockers and those sorts of things, which I never ended up doing, and I probably would never do anyway. But the compressor itself had a relatively good performance set of metrics, and you can only go on what you read, obviously, but it seemed to be pretty good. And so anyway, I had the team at ARB down in Richmond in Melbourne at the time, and apart from putting some dents in my dash, getting that fitted, it's sat under the engine bay for the last 13 years, and it's done a really good job. But of recent trips, it seems to be struggling a little bit to pump the tyres up in a timely manner, and I figured 13 years is a pretty good life, so I'll retire that one and see what's new on the market. Obviously there's glowing reviews for the new ARB twin air compressor. Just got to do it. So yeah, the twin ARB unit looks good as far as high output goes. The challenge with the ARB twin air compressor is it just simply doesn't fit. And people say, you just put it in a box, you bring it along when you need it, and leave it out when you don't. But when I need it, my car's full. I've got it full of stuff for travelling, and I don't really have room for another appliance, and so I can't go down the path of having an extra box to try and fit somewhere. So I will go back again and go with the onboard air approach. And in this case, I did my research, and I could have gone with the new, the current ARB single piston compressor, which is a nice looking unit. If I ever did go down the locker path, which I probably wouldn't, it's got the outlets and the manifold and everything for lockers. But I was reading one of my regular emails that I get from various social media channels, and I saw an ad for the TJM HD onboard air compressor, and I thought maybe I'll investigate that one a little bit. I will check it out, and then I'll report back with some details and let you all know how it goes. Well, that didn't go to plan. They didn't have any in stock. I did email them earlier in the week to ask if they kept them in stock, and they said they did, but apparently they sold them all yesterday. So I couldn't have a look at one, and I didn't want to order one blindly, so I'll have to try and locate another store, see if I can find a store that has some in stock, and go and tuned. We'll see what happens when I actually get my hands on one.